In the ring we stand tall, words of blades that never fall, debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. In the ring we stand tall, words of blades that never fall, debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean, spirited, mind sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night, join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts clean. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance in this arena. There's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts clean. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance in this arena. There's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep and search for more. In the ring we stand tall, words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave, every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean, spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night, join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Heard. Will be heard. Will be heard.
Spartans! What is your profession?
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it with another stream, another live. You know where you're at. You're at Spartan HQ Network. I am your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. How is everybody doing tonight? Today was a chilly one. I don't know where you guys are at, but where I am at in PA, it got chilly and we got some snow. Nothing too much, but I can't do this by myself. I have a little friend in the back. Of course, you know, guys. You guys do his little dance too.
Benny Hill, the best.
What's up, dude?
Benny Hill, the best.
Yeah, man. Hey, when came idea, I had to get you a theme song. That came to my mind. I'm like, I gotta get him that. So, but before we get in the show, I have some breaking news and some sad news. Are you familiar with Kazuro Motohama? I can pronounce his
No.
fucking name. He was the creator of Super Mario. And unfortunately, he died today, excuse me, at 69 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, the game industry.
sorry, I was swear then, but no, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was just about to swear then, but sorry.
Yeah, and as a hardcore, I don't say hardcore, as a fanboy Mario guy, I grew up as a fanboy Mario. Even to this day, I might turn on my Switch, and play some Mario. I don't give a shit anybody says.
I still have the original Super Mario on the Super Nintendo.
I actually am in the process of buying my old. I have my old Super Nintendo. Now I rebought it recently, and the condition of that damn thing is little mint. But he
Mine's
is
a bit yellowy.
No, it's actually like brand new.
No, mine. It's a bit yellowy.
Oh, he's that's easy to clean up. But he is a icon, a legend, and he is going to be missed more than anybody. This created. He's just a. I can't say enough good things about him. To me, it was when I heard the news, it shocked me and it was heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah, I used
Yeah,
to
can I say on this before we
play
move on
the Super Mario. You remember the massive cartridge you used to get? Instead of you used to have a massive, great big square box with a lid that opened at the front. You have a massive cartridge down the front.
Yeah, original Nintendo. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I had originally growing up.
I had it, dude. My first video game that I wanted, and I was young. I didn't know anything better. I was crying for. I want Super Mario Bros. 3. I want Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Nintendo was out already, but my mom, no, I wanted that, so it was on sale. Of course, she ended up buying it for me for Christmas, and that is the game that I grew up on. So it's some sad news, but it's
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is part of life, and we have to deal with it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I've got a funeral on Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
That's all right. I'll call him Captain Peglegs. He had his leg chopped off about 2 years ago.
God damn.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll call him Captain Pirate, Captain Whitebeard. He was always limping around with the what they call them, the stick things.
So let's get this next guy in here. Of course, we're talking about. Hey, Groot.
You ain't out there, you're a Groot.
I will turn your camera on this way, back on.
It's bear paw. Get that straight.
Uh-huh.
Didn't you notice the picture, Pete?
Yeah, I did.
Here's the difference. Go outside, I am intimidating. People think, monitor, why you walk like you're always angry? I said, well,
Because you are always angry.
so I can never be a Groot.
Yeah.
No,
So, David, did you hear my announcement?
I didn't get to hear enough what happened.
Kazura Motohama, the creator of
I
Super.
see that post on the fans. What happened?
He passed away today.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he the creator of what again?
Super Mario Brother.
He not only the creator, he the visionary behind that. That's a big deal.
I was shocked when I heard, dude.
I wouldn't be shocked because this is something that we spoke about. A lot of the creators, the game, which is a big deal, the most people in Japan, and animators, they put through a tremendous amount of stress. Because if you think about it, you look at all our past shows that we have done on the anime online, right? What the common denominator, I said, why all the anime creators are dying young? Not old, but young, like around their 40s and 50s.
Mhm.
What are they going through that put their health at risk? Like recently, Achiro Oda, he the creator and the visionary for One Piece. He was ill. Everybody thought something would happen to him because the same thing happened to Akira Toriyama. He ended up recovering, so they made that announcement recently whereby next year One Piece will take a 3 month break before they resume back into production. Yeah,
That's the first time in history of the series, right?
for over 25 years. Think about that. Over 25 years they've been going on that thing. So think about what they had to go through. And they put themselves through all that. If you ask me, that is extremely crazy. That's why the level of professionalism that they put on these people, it's ridiculous. That's why they got DR Studio, the first black-owned Japanese animation studio located in Japan. The guy said when he went there to learn under the old heads, the OGs, he realized they're not playing around. There's a level of pressure and stress that put on these people. But is ironically Japan, Singapore, China, the three Asian countries have a work about people are working way past 40 hours. We did a show about this on my platform with my former co-host about burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Over there, you want to talk about we get burnt over there, they get burned out way more. Talk about doing almost 80 hours a week work hours. Who will do that?
Japan has a different work ethic than we do.
That's the
People fall asleep on the train from exhaustion.
That's the point. So imagine a creator who is focused on meeting the deadline to get that thing done, and some of the end of they have airbeds under their desk so they don't go home. They sleep in their office.
Dude, there are people in China or Hong Kong, wherever it was, right, that don't have homes. They physically sleep in cafes.
Bingo,
Yeah? They've got pods in cafes where you
bingo,
literally sleep in a cafe.
and they get back to work after they get their sleep on.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Do you know what? That'd be
There's no way
nice.
to live, dude.
Dude, it was a 3-part show about burnout. And we thought we had it bad. No, they got it worse.
Oh, I have it 10 times worse than us.
But they're trained to do that their entire life. They're brought up with discipline since they were young.
I got a level of discipline from my country, because that's the thing. If you get a chance to get a job, don't stop. Keep going. I haven't taken a vacation in 28 years, so what's the point? I don't know what vacation
You
looks
know what? I
feel
wish that generation nowadays would have discipline.
like.
Yeah,
Please,
that
please,
generations nowadays don't have no discipline at
please,
all.
with a level of entitlement? Come on.
Look, I'm 40 years old, for Christ's sake.
I'm 47. I'm still working.
I'm a lazy bugger. I haven't worked in 10 years, so I gave it up to look after her.
No, I'm sorry. I'm a workaholic. I have to work. If I'm not working, I lose my mind. Just know that. That's what I'm saying. If I didn't have a change in my life, I would have gone into UFC. Oh boy, here the guy who put
All
the
right, let's
chip
get
on
this
that
guy in
show.
here. Let's get his.
Willie,
Yeah.
Willie. That you couldn't play my band.
Oh, don't be sour over there, you little grumpy.
Don't worry. I'll give me a nice soundtrack whereby everybody will throw when I play that. What the hell? I said, don't worry. That's my coming to era whereby I'm gonna put nothing but terror on everybody's face.
You know what?
Hey,
I'm gonna choose
that
the theme.
Kamehameha, I appreciate that because that's one of the classics.
Yeah. Jay, what's going on? How you been, my man?
Oh man, a lot of family stuff, man. I've been dealing with things with my mother lately.
Mm.
taking care of the family, making sure she's okay and everything. And it's kind of been keeping me away from YouTube for a while. I actually managed to catch this dream because I just got off of work just now. So,
Oh
um,
no.
yeah. So I was wondering. So what's the topic tonight? You guys are talking about?
We're talking about plastic surgery, conflict or condition.
Oh,
Neither.
oh well, I actually have a few things to say on that.
You have the floor.
I um, oh no, was Canadian born going first? I don't want to cut him off.
No, you can go first.
No,
We
you
were
go.
just
Go ahead.
actually we're just
Oh,
going over. I don't know if you heard the news today. Kazu Motohama, I can't pronounce his name, died today. He was a Super Mario Brother creator.
Visionary.
Died at 69 today.
oh man. First of all, rest in peace to Super Nintendo Mario, create one of the creators and everything like that. Like shout out to them because it's because of them that we even have all these systems to begin with. So let's just keep it real. That's fact.
Yeah.
Facts.
Rest in peace and hey man, anybody want a Super Nintendo, man? If you want to pay respects, play the Super Nintendo game, which I did at one time when I was a kid. It was one of my favorites. So may you rest in peace, and may all his endeavors, family, just half of the half, like respect. And but to talk up on the topic of plastic surgery. Oh man, let me see if I can shorten this.
Mm.
There's only one time I've said plastic surgery is good is for like some type of accident that may have happened to you.
I
And
agree.
I can't. And I don't mean like I mean like a two-faced situation where like you've been horribly scarred from an incident, from being burned, or things like that. Like that's when I think it's okay. I'm gonna keep it real and let's keep it real. Those are extreme circumstances that you know you have that done to you. But when it comes to like doing it just because you want to be noticed and things like that, and it's not like a point of affirmation to fix something because you feel insecure about yourself, it's not cool to do it in terms of that. And if you're gonna do it, then you gotta know it comes with it that you might end up not existing anymore. Here's what I mean by that: you won't be on this planet with us. So I can't use the other term because we're on YouTube, but you won't be around with your loved ones and things like that because of this. And I see a lot of vanity and a lot of what's the word I want to use? There's not a lot of self confidence in a lot of people who do this particular thing just because they feel inadequate about themselves. They feel less confidence in themselves, and also they don't feel noticed by others. So they do this as a means of getting attention. And to me, and everybody knows in this era that we are in now, attention is like the strongest drug. I think it's stronger than any drug. Attention.
Hmm.
And this is no different than like everybody seems to be craving something for some reason. So that's why they keep and this is within our ladies today that a lot of them do touch ups of certain things of certain body parts so that they can feel beautiful, feel better about that. And I'll be honest, I think there is a beauty standard, of, well, a ridiculous over the site beauty standard that America has put out for most of the eh, world. I want to say world, but mostly here, because it's not just in America; it's in Korea as well, guys. Actually, I got cats over there that tell me all types of stories about how they're getting that woman over there getting plastic surgery, how their waist doesn't look exactly right and everything, and it's crazy to the degree that it's gotten. Because people are losing their lives over this, and it's not cool to do that. And I think the deeper you go into it, the
It's just
I'm not
wrong.
gonna yeah no, I'm not gonna say just insecurity. I think there's been some self-loathing in you too. I want to use certain words so I can like pick it out like one by one, where it's like you're suffering from insecurity, you're suffering from self-loathing. You just don't have a confidence in yourself, and the other thing is you want attention. So all those things can factor into reasons of why you do it. but also let's keep it real. Your friends did it, so now you want to do it. Even though there's that voice telling you that you shouldn't do it, you should probably listen to that damn voice. I've actually talked to a friend actually personally who tried to think about doing it. I had to talk her out of doing that damn thing. But what I told her is what I told her. This is listen. If you do this, there's no going back. And two, here's the other thing. You gotta live what comes out of this. So, just make sure and I told her make sure you're doing it uh for you and make sure nobody's holding a gun to your head. Those are the words I literally told her. I was like, because because she's such a person that likes the way that she is. All of a sudden, she just talked about doing that, and it came out of nowhere. When I heard that, that didn't sound like her.
Mhm.
So that's overall my thoughts on what plastic surgery. I mean, on the negative and the well, I say positive, but the negative and if you're like in an accident compared to that, I think that's a little different. I think it's okay in that instance, as long as it doesn't go overboard. But like I said, if you're horribly scarred, if you had a terrible accident, I've noticed nobody ever, not you guys, I've noticed nobody ever used that to like when someone's like in a terrible accident where like, well, their arm's like horribly scarred, but they got plastic surgery on that to fix that to not make it look so ridiculously hideous.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
ever talked about that,
No, nobody
but
talks. You're right. Nobody talks about the benefits of plastic surgery. There are some benefits in there, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. I want to get the other guy to the opinions in. David, you want to go next? Then I have our little UK brother over there go last.
Now, I will say this. I'm glad that Jay Takaki say that because that's something I was thinking at first when I first heard about plastic surgery when it first initiated. It was meant to repair certain injuries. Perfect example. If you come from a car accident, you got burned, you got either first, second, third, or fourth small degree burn. That put to help reconstruct that, right? For someone who survived overcoming breast cancer, so to speak, that probably be the main of fixing or repairing certain part caused by sickness or disease or accident, which is fine. But when it got to the point of to fix some sort of an imperfection, and know that you feel like you don't like how your nose look or how your cheek look or want to reconstruct your job because you feel like your face is not a certain way, then you're going to the extreme whereby you want to remove a rib or two, make your waist even smaller, or you want to add whatever mountain your chest to make your chest bigger, want to expand your. That is when you're crossing the line. This is where I say, and I endorse this message. If that's the case that you want to do that, then by all means, please go ahead. But I beg you, do not come on social media platform begging for pity, because you deserve not 1 ounce of it. Period. So if you try to get a boob done, try to get your butt done, your lip done, your nose done, your cheek done, take a couple of ribs, make your waist smaller done, give you some fake ab, whatever side effect you get, I wish it multiplied by 10 and you realize the consequences behind it. Because this is when you go too far into the realm of vanity. But I'm not really a fan of it. I understand if, which is the other side, where people want to get a breast reduction because of one, based on the type of hormonal food can do to a person's body, whereby some women had the issue where their breasts go past a particular limit, it becomes too heavy, whereby it hurting their back. They don't have bra support. That is understandable. There are people complaining about back pain, right? That's one part I understand. Another part I do understand, but at the same time I don't, is we know about the obesity epidemic that we have within the United States, where They have the issue we have to call food desert. We have area or district where you have healthy food only for the upper class people to can afford it, so to speak, and you have non-healthy food for lower class people who just want to push out there with all type of processed stuff in it, whereby it forces the body to blow up. So if they want to lose weight, let's say they pass their body limit with a skin stretch beyond limit, and when they lost weight, have too much excess skin, that is recommended. I agree with that part. So that I'm not gonna blame nobody if you gotta do surgery whereby they can remove all that excess skin. But believe me, if you see those videos of how much skin they have to remove just so that could be normal in their whole body, that's a lot. So that
It's too
is
much sometimes.
an exception I will give because we all know that people are going through all type of depression. Some people eat themselves just to feel good or to black out so much experience in life to the point whereby the balloon when they're trying to get back their life and start to exercise and get back into shape. They did got into shape, but the skin cannot snap back. We're not from the Namek clan where we had those type of stretchable skin and pull itself back. That's not happening. So the reason why that happened when you have all that got probably in China go to a big dude lost a lot of weight. Imagine he had to tuck his skin in his sweatpants. I don't think you want to. Yeah, yeah,
Pause.
that's yeah. This happened for both men and
No,
women. They have
David, I'm not arguing one bit. There are cases. I'm gonna go in my opinion in a minute after our K brother goes next. But
so I would say that that is under. I'm giving you a limit to where it's acceptable to me, what I understand that, and I also give it a side where it's not acceptable. If it for repair something that caused me from injury, sickness, or disease, or extreme weight loss, whereby it leave back excess amount of skin, that I will say it's okay. But if you trying to go into the realm of vanity, so you can look a certain way, well, a side effect multiplied by 10. If I have my way, I multiply by 100. That's just me.
all right, my man, you're up.
Personally, I think plastic surgery is a great big fad, or fad, whatever you want to call it. Um, it should only just be for birth defects, born deformed, car crashes, um, as I showed you that thing earlier, um, and breast cancer. And as David said, for when you're losing weight, you have to cut it off to get rid of it so you can look, get yourself looking a little bit better. But people who want to do it for looks and popularity and all that sort of crap, it just doesn't do nothing at all. You wait for about 20, 30 years later down the line, you've got like liposuctions, you've got, what you got, lip implants, facial implants, that sort of thing. Look at Nicki Minaj, for Christ's sake. Yeah? Did she really need all those implants? No. Yeah? For Christ's sake. You look 20, 30 years down the line, they're going to look terrible, for Christ's sake. She wanted breast implants. I told her no, she don't need them. She literally doesn't need them. My neighbour downstairs, I said, look at her downstairs. She's got breast implants. She looks terrible. Yeah? Why don't you just keep yourself as yourself? Yeah, it's not what it looks like on the outside, it's what's on the inside that matters.
Bingo.
Yeah? It to me, it doesn't do nothing for me. Having breast implants, liposuction, it helps people, yes. But for elderly people, getting liposuction or getting your tummy tucked, why? You're getting older, be your age. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't go for all this fashion crap because that's all it is. It's fashion. There's no need for it. I just wish people would stop it. It should be against the law, to be honest with you. It should be for serious cases like a birth defect. Say in a serious accident, like when you're in a car crash and your whole front side of your skull gets crushed. Yeah, and that has to be rebuilt. That sort of thing. That's what it should be for emergencies, breast cancer. Do you know what I mean? For serious things. Don't use it for just as a fashion sort of thing, or trying to make people think, oh, look at me, I look better. Just keep it as a serious sort of issue. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, that's me done.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so now I gotta get my opinion on this. I agree with everything you're about saying. There are cases that it is beneficial and help you. There are a lot of cases. I would say at least if I scale one to 100, at least 90% of the cases are cosmetic. They want to look better. There was one professor. He's a scientist in bodybuilding on YouTube. I can't remember his name off my head. He did a back surgery for plastic surgery, and he said it was the worst decision he ever made because how much pain he went through, how many he was even shitting himself because he couldn't move. That's how bad it was. People don't realize how much pain you go through. Yeah, they say beauty causes a little pain, whatever. I don't disagree with that. Now, if it comes down to birth certificate, you were born a certain way, a birth certificate, it was really damaging you. Yes, I understand that. I agree with. Breast discussion, yes. Liposuction because you have to lose the weight, yes. But I don't agree with when people are going. This is the part I disagree 100%. They're going over to other countries that's cheaper. DR, for example, Dominican Republic, for one example, Cuba. Most of the Spanish countries are very cheap. But here's the catch-22, guys. They don't have the same laws as your country does for medical. So if something happens, you get sick, an infection or whatever, no doctor in your country is going to treat you correctly now because their hands are going to be up in the air like, I am not touching this because I don't want to get sued for this. That's the catch-22. It says, oh, it's cheaper over there. Yeah, it's cheaper. But what risk are you taking? You're putting such a big risk on your life to go across country, across the world to get it. It's better going across country instead in your own country with your own insurance and paying a little extra, saying, "Hey, I know I'm in good hands."
Yes. Yes.
Now, here's where it gets a little tricky for me.
Yes.
You not. Let me rephrase that. It gets in deep waters. You have people like Michael Jackson, who went way, way overboard with plastic surgery. He got his nose done. He got this done every couple months. He was addicted to plastic surgery, and there are a lot. You disagree?
Michael Jackson, he only had plastic surgery because he had a rare disease, skin disease.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the
But
only reason.
afterwards, he was addicted to it. Afterwards,
No, it was because he constantly had a disease. Yeah, it kept him flaring back up. All right, and they had to prescribe him certain painkillers, certain other pills or whatever it was to try and keep it down. Yeah, if you ever see in some of his concerts, he was absolutely shattered. Yeah, from all the painkillers and all the pain it was in.
oh, he was hooked on drugs. He was definitely hooked on those.
Yeah, he was. If you notice on some of his things, they actually had to cover some of his skin. Hence why the glove on his hand.
Yeah, he was also burned really bad too at one point.
Pardon?
He was also burned really bad during the Pepsi commercial shooting.
There was that. Plus, as I said, as growing up, he actually had a really bad skin condition.
Yeah, I do know about that.
Yeah, it progressed through the years. I have been following Michael Jackson for years.
Let me speak on that because you're right about that part. He did have a skin disease that he wear a glove to hide it. That was the first part. What part we'll talk about there, the Pepsi commercial that he did, that one the spark from the pyro, whatever they call it, landed on his hair and burned his scalp. had to take painkiller for that particular issue. Then later on, when he got older, when he was told by some medical doctor that you can do some kind of plastic surgery to lighten the skin to hide that, he chose to go down that particular path, which was not a good idea to begin with, which later on lead to him have way more body pain than unusual. Because yes, he's not the only one that had that skin disease, because there was many before and after they had it, where it's the pigmentation issue. The skin disease that he had was more of a pigmentation whereby you are black, but some of your skin starts to go bleach white. There's a thing that we call it in Nigeria, we call it albino or albino, we wouldn't want to call it, whereby you were born from a black parent, but because of the pigmentation, your whole entire skin turned white. That is commonly known in Africa, but it wasn't known in the US in that kind of way. So that's why he wore a glove, because his pigmentation was bleaching out or turning total opposite of black, which wasn't a reason for him to go to do plastic surgery. But the medical field over here didn't have the proper understanding how it come about. But those in Africa knew. I came across a lot of people who are considered albino because, for one, they are black people, but the skin pigmentation turn white. In certain countries, they consider it to be mystical, meaning they believe if you go on a particular albino, you get some kind of unique special power. That was a cultural, I don't say it's a norm, but folklore that some people are still stuck in that mindset. There were people who are albino are considered to be in danger because in certain African countries they get targeted. So what Michael Jackson went through because he thought plastic surgery would have fixed the issue, it has made it matter worse.
Hmm.
So combine that with the scalp burn on his head, then this he had to do with the surgery. So the level of pain that he got on was not properly regulated. It got to a point where it got too addictive, which lead to his downfall. Correct is correct, but what he is speaking, you are correct as well, Spartan. But other than
Yeah,
that,
we're both correct in different ways.
Michael Jackson is a good an example why you want you to engage into plastic surgery in that type of nature unless you get proper consultation of your issue. Because you have a pigmentation as a black person, you don't need a surgery to fix it. It will just make matter worse. But you need to find someone who understands it and see how to go about it. Not just go to the point where you end up breaking your whole entire skin and you damage so many nerves. Remember, we have so many nerves attached to our skin. And once you mess that up, man, I don't think how you can live in your own body each and every day with every nerve in your body is on fire. So I can imagine the amount of pain Michael Jackson was going through. Because that's not a simple thing to do, if you ask me. That's my own thought on it. But
No,
other
no,
than that,
you're 100% right. Like I said, Michael Jackson is an example I was using. I know, me and Greg might disagree on that, but like you just cleared it up. We're both right. He was addicted to plastic surgery and painkillers. I'm not here about. We're not talking about painkillers tonight as much,
no,
but
that's what the eradication of plastic surgery. There's a side. This is why I say vanity is a problem. Now, if you come to what you just mentioned, birth defect, that is highly on the top of the list. There are
I
people around the
agree.
world who have birth defect whereby you have one that there's a couple in most in Africa. That I forgot the name of that ship, that medical ship that travel around the world and do recovery surgery for people they had people had a cavity in their mouth that
Mm.
require plastic surgery. That is necessary.
Now,
There are
David, I'll
people
give you an
who
example. I have a birthmark from my chest goes into my arm, right?
mhm.
And it looks like a really bad hickey. I'm not going to deny that. It looks just like a bad hickey.
I was thinking
Who are you
about
messing
it.
with?
Looks like a massive bruise.
Who you mess with that
Yeah,
big bad
like, dude,
hickey?
if you can see part of it, like right here, you can see a part of my arm. It literally
So
hits spots, and it literally half my but this part where my hand is covers
mhm.
my chest.
So in other
So
words,
I always
you
got
a
my
dated
ass busted
so you
on
a
it.
dated
What's
big
up?
Bertha from One Piece. Now we got that big hickey.
My sister-in-law's
You've
brother
reached
is
your
actually got it
limit on
right here.
talking. Shut the fuck up.
So I got shit on for all my life of that. So it was small at first. So my mom took me to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist prescribed this cream. This cream reacted the opposite it was supposed to. So when it reacted to my skin, the opposite, and it actually spread.
Was it a cyst or a tumor issue?
Neither.
Oh, that's genetic.
Yeah, my parents don't have it, bro.
But
It's a mark.
they told in your
Birth
family,
defect.
they told
It's
in
a
your
birth
family tree you
defect.
had that before?
Nobody. That's the funny part.
It's a birth defect.
No. That past birth defect, I asked if it was a cyst or a tumor. They tell it's neither
It's
one
just a
because
birthmark.
the birthmark, but it had to react based on. I've been reading a lot of medical, and I'm a tech guy, and I used to go in the hospital when I was growing up, and I had to read magazine about
I don't know if you can
different.
see a little bit on this part of my chest.
hmm
You see it? It literally is just spots. That's what it
Because
is.
to me, if it's a birth defect, it had to it had to come from something. Something was like caused it. That's why I asked that question because to get it prescribed as cream instead of it reversing, it end up spreading.
Here's one for you, Pete. Was you born with it?
Yeah.
There you go. Birth defect.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so it was literally it grew. So they had gave me the option when I was older. I was like 21, 22. Do you want to get plastic surgery, get this removed? Like, I want to, no. Like, they looked at each other like, you seriously? I'm like, it doesn't bother me. What do you mean it doesn't bother you? Like, most people will be like depressed and like, or this different emotions. Like, no, it doesn't bother me. It's not hurting me. It's not affecting my everyday life. People break my balls, but I break them back. So I don't give a shit. So it's just one of those things. Like, it's not doing good or bad. It's just it literally is part of me. If I remove that, I lose part of me.
There's a guy I know.
I like that
Um,
image.
There's a guy I know in Pulborough, right in the UK. It looked like when he was younger. He said when he was younger, it looked like he had a black eye constantly, right? But over the years, it actually grew, and it's over his entire right inside of his face. It's literally he was born with it. Yeah,
Eh,
the
That
doctors
part
tried to deal with
I
it.
heard
They
about
wouldn't
it.
do anything with it.
I heard
They
about
said
it.
it's part of it. It's part of him. Yeah, he was born with it. So
Correct.
why do anything with it?
Correct. I'm glad you mentioned it 'cause I remember watching a British medical broadcast about it, and they say they certain people had that same issue whereby it's not be an eye, be a certain part in their body, and over time that thing grow. And I'm like, wait. What is that? Because there's some people that have that issue where it look like a black eye or look like a black spot, but over time
Hmm?
something is feeding and making it to grow and spread out to the point whereby it doesn't make any sense, but it's not hurting them, but it's disfiguring them. That's why I asked the question if that's a cyst or a tumor. But to say that type of thing, it could be almost tumor-like,
But the
but it
guy I'm on about, it doesn't affect his life at
it
all.
doesn't.
It's not
That's
life.
that's the
It's not
thing.
life threatening. It's
It's
not
not,
hurting him, and it's not doing anything. Same as Pete. It's not doing anything to him either.
it's just
Yeah?
disfiguring it. It's like something causing it. And I'm sure
It's
to this
like
day they haven't found an
the
answer to
Elephant
that yet.
Man. It's like the Elephant Man. Yeah.
Bingo.
It's not hurting him, but does it impact his life? No.
Yes.
The only way it impacts his life, yeah, is him sometimes having trouble eating. That's it.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's my point. If it doesn't hurt you any shape, way, or form, it's not causing you a long term injury in your body. To me, if I remove this birthmark, I'm removing a piece of myself.
I get your point. I think this when it comes to birthmark, a lot of people in Africa that not too much moved by it. They just look at it and take it as a badge of honor. But there's some people who go further to the point where they don't like how it look on their body. Some people have birthmark, a little mark on their arm or on their body or behind their neck, and
You mean a mole?
it's like a mole. Yes, I mean that's what
Yeah,
it is.
I've got them
It
all
look
over
like
my
a
body.
mole.
I've got like two of them here, and then one up on my
But
head, and I've got them all on my chest. Doesn't bother me.
some go further to the point whereby they don't trust Western medicine. They go to the Chinese medicine because if you understand medicine, it's all about the discovery of how you understand the human body anatomy. And to me, I believe the people who understand the human body better than anybody else are either in China or Japan, hands down. Because you look at Chinese medicine and Japanese medicine, they rival one another, but they understand the human anatomy on a deeper level without modern technology. They're
But the
always
difference
aware.
between them and us is they're more pure. They want to make themselves look pure. Yeah. Whereas people like myself, the guy I was on about, Pete, we don't care. It's a part of who we are.
I don't give a shit.
There you go. He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't give a crap. As I said, I've got 2 moles here. I've got one on my forehead and I've got them down my body. Yeah. I don't care. They're not impacting my life. It's not slowing me down. It's not doing anything to me. It don't hurt. Yeah.
But no,
And
the
it's not
problem is,
cancerous.
no, the problem
So
is, it's the change of society norm.
screw
What?
society.
No, I'm glad you said that. But you know what I'm saying? That what wasn't that a big deal maybe 200-300 years ago or 100 years ago? It becoming a big deal now because people are not saying this is not fashionable, this is not appreciated, this is not acceptable. For example, you look at history, the white wig, the corset, that was a medieval way of dress, which was kind of stupid. Look at Chinese
We
history.
still have that in courts over here.
Yeah, but look at the Chinese history. They used to force people into a weird ass shoe that deformed their feet. I saw that in high school. I found that weird, but that back then that was a thought of fashion. Every 10
Well,
years, somebody
it's
changes
like
something.
that thing that they do when in your culture, David. Yeah, it's either in your culture or some culture. I can't remember what culture it is. A
Describe it to
tribe.
me.
Yeah, they put discs in their mouth.
That's toward to the south. I hear it. That one.
You
I
know what I
have.
mean?
I know.
I'm not being
I know.
horrible. I'm just.
I know exactly what you mean because that
I
the
think that's
because
weird, but it's their culture and it's part of.
and believe me, no. I'm glad you said it because as an African from the West African region, this coming down from the Southern African region, I find that weird because that was one part they do. There's another part whereby they put normal amount of ring to stretch the neck.
Oh, isn't that India? I think.
No, that's Africa. Sorry.
Is it Africa? I
But
heard.
they
I
put
Yeah,
heard that
bone through
this.
their neck, through their nose, and that sort of thing, don't
that is
they? Yeah.
Africa because Africa
But
is a
even now
huge
in these countries,
continent.
your country, my country, yeah. Pete, where you are, right? They put flaming piercings, rings, and they put them literally
This
straight through your eyes,
supermodel, the supermodel
right?
named Iman, the supermodel named Iman. I'm sure Jada Carter knew who I'm talking about. She was advocating for the tear down of a particular African culture. I don't know where in Africa, where it's third one to the south, whereby, truth to be told, her tribe, whereby the father, take needle and sew the woman, the JJ, up with some kind of thread that only the husband is allowed to cut it open and reclose it to make sure no one go behind the back and use his woman. So to speak, that was a thing that Iman put out in the public because she understood that was kind of barbaric, which I agree is barbaric,
Mm.
which is crazy. That's why I tell people when you want to study Africa, Africa is massive. My country got 500 tribe and dialect alone. Talk to any other country, but that particular
Oh, I'm not
tribe,
denying that, David. Your
but that
country
particular
is
tribe that he
really
was
big.
talking about that did the lip thing, even I found that I couldn't wrap my head around. Why would you
But that's
touch
their
a
tribal
thing?
thing. The bigger the disc, the more powerful they are in that type of tribe. If that makes any sense to anyone.
David, you guys are like cockroaches. You got pop every section of Africa. You guys a new tribe comes out. No offense.
No, saying it's all tribal. It's a tribal thing.
And that's why I'm agreeing with you. So I'll give you another example. Remember when the gauges were very popular back in the day, in
Oh
the ears? Yeah,
God.
I was one of the stupid ones with also gauges here. I admit it. I'm one of the idiot ones. So, but people when they gauge is so big, they need plastic surgery to close that hole. It's not gonna close
It,
naturally.
people don't understand it. You when you stretch that earlobe to that limit, you create a hub for infection to build over time if you're not careful. Because my favorite wrestler, Rhea Ripley, I like what she does. She did that to herself. And I was like, why would you go that? This was something that I hated about one particular African child that was doing with the lips. Now you're doing it to the ear. Like,
So here's the thing I think she's a very attractive and beautiful woman, to be honest with you. All right. But what fucks her up is all the piercings and the gauges. She could be, you guys know me by now, my favorite wrestler, and I think she's the hottest wrestler ever lived, Trish Stratus. I'm a little favoritism because she's Greek, but that's a whole different story.
mhm.
But, fuck off down there. But honest truth, if she Ripley didn't get all those piercings and all that stuff, she might even bounce on top of Trish Stratus. She might be on top of her, rank wise. I mean, not that that didn't sound
My
right.
thing is,
You know what I mean?
they we in an era people are going into body mutilation to the point it get out of control because Craig noted in the Europe, I don't know in UK, wherever, yeah, people want to put all type of implant in their head like devil. I was like, you know what?
Do you
I
know there's actual people actually in tattoo places? I think they're doing it over. It's either in the US or in the UK, right? They're actually cutting your tongue in half, making it look like a snake. I'm not joking. It's stupid and it's wrong. Yeah, because one slight miss in your tongue, you're bleeding out and you're
I
dying.
seen that they allow them turning. They're starting.
Oh,
to
you
get
mean
plastic surgery.
splitting the tongue?
Yeah,
they're actually
what they
cutting.
do, they split the tongue and
In
they're
a
getting.
tattoo place, they're actually cutting your tongue right down the
Yeah.
middle.
So
You have to be
what
very
they're
careful
doing.
because there's a massive vein in there.
Yeah. So what they're doing this plastic surgery to look like animals, like snakes
they're
or
doing too much.
Talking about
It's going-
splicing?
yeah.
There's a woman, American celebrity they call her cat lady because she took so much plastic so she make her face look like a cat. I'm like, I'm sorry, that is textbooks explanation of mental disorder. You'll go that far to mutilate your face to
Textbooks
look.
and body bags.
So our UK brothers send this over to us. I wanted to scroll down for a sec.
That's her. That's her.
You know,
That's
yeah.
it.
So this is her face after surgery, bro. That's
They didn't want
bad.
to show the original one because she was actually covered in acid. Yeah,
Yeah.
acid at her, right? And she had to physically have her face multiple surgeries over the years to have her face rebuilt. Yeah, I think she's either from the US or she's from the UK. I can't remember.
Look up the article for the human cat lady. See how many surgeries she did to her face. That's what.
For some reason, she looked like a dinosaur to me. I don't know why.
She's
How
deformed.
she-
She was beautiful. Yeah, I actually watched the documentary on her. She was absolutely gorgeous, right? And someone had a grudge against her, and they threw acid over her face. Yeah,
People are fucked up, bro, in this world.
Oh, that is normal. I'm sorry. I don't want to call it normal, but that is a normal way.
That's crazy. That's actually something out of Batman Forever in the first World War II.
Let me break it down. It's not just It's not just happening in the US. It's not happening in the UK. It happened all over. It's a unique reaction to people who have an extreme level of jealousy of one person's beauty. They feel like if I'm not better than you, I might well throw acid on you.
Acid
I
on your
used to hear
face.
that. I used to hear that a little more often in Africa than
they're
in
doing
US
it in
or
prisons
the
as
UK.
well. Yeah, they're doing facial reconstruction in prison
Yeah.
because they're using what? Boiling hot water with sugar or salt.
I know what they're doing is, hair gel. They're allowed to have that. They take it, they put it in hot water, cold water, and they nuke it and they throw it in your face. That's how they get you in jail. But before we move on, Jed, you had something to say. I'm sorry, David caught you off by accident.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, all this is wild. Splitting tongues, throwing acid on somebody like something out of a movie. That's kind of crazy. Like,
Well, you saw the result, yeah.
Yeah.
In the pictures and the result of the surgeries and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, she doesn't look great. She's not like she used to be. But that's where plastic surgery would come in brilliantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, like car crash, if you have half your skull smashed in, right? Plastic surgery can help with that. Yeah.
But yeah, you would go through like two different types of surgery first. For like one to fix the skull, and then one to like
There you go.
fix
Look
the
at her
skin
face.
and things like that.
Look at that
There
face.
she is.
Before and after. The cat lady.
Really?
Jesus,
Yeah.
I know who that is.
That
seen it
was
before.
like
all of us can, I think, on this panel can agree, is when is too much too much?
Where like we go over. So like for example, everything has a number.
Make yourself look better. It's
here's
just
the
wrong.
problem. The
Yeah, like anything that's over a number of any kind. I think with the You know what Lucas up here said. Like I said, like everybody has to have a number. Like nothing over this many. So for example, like you know what I don't like. Okay, so let's get the. I'll give you an example. Piercing, for example. I don't mind a tongue pierce, and I don't mind an ear pierce. Maybe one nose pierce. That's fine. Where it gets bad is where this new bullshit, and I gotta call it out because it is
Go
not
ahead.
appealing to at all when I look at it. It's like where it's pierce,
Mm-hmm.
lip pierce, nose, like ear, all that shit. Like it,
And on the west side,
you look like
on the west
Pinhead. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you look
it
like
look
Pinhead
like
when I see that shit.
it
Hey,
look
it reminds
like
me of Freddy Krueger.
no, it look like
Yeah,
kilowatt. No, it look like
that
kilowatt
too.
older butter for Hunter X Hunter.
Oh,
I'm with
Illumi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it's
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
strong.
with Jay's side here. Like, if you have like say maybe a couple of ear pierce, okay, big deal. I have
yeah.
four.
One or two, like that's regular, but
Yeah,
and then maybe a tongue pierce, that's fine. Where
yeah.
you like when you start doing lip, nose, like a nose ring, and then with I hate those two, and like this all over your face, that's fucking too much. And then
What
hey, now
about
that
the
belly button, nipple piercing, and then you click somewhere else. That's
Um,
when it's like, okay,
blame
you were out
blame
of
Dennis
here.
Bro,
Rodman for that.
I'm
Blame
not.
Dennis
I'll be
Rodman.
honest with you. I know people who get men who pierce their, you know,
Mm, mm,
yes?
Yeah,
mm, mm,
wing, wing, wing,
mm,
wing. They were thinking about
mm,
getting it done.
and
mm.
that's crazy. That's
All right,
insane.
guys, hang on a second. Let's rise for our president.
Ow!
Mr.
Mr.
Bennett shaking
President,
his head.
No,
how are
when
you
he
doing tonight, my man?
here the thing, Jay Kakati. When he come and you do the Benny Hinn salute.
Yeah, I did. I was like this. I was with you guys.
When
There's a British
Greg went up, I
policeman
heard
that
a
used to go like
slap.
this. He's a short policeman, right? And he has like right spasm. He's like,
I heard a slap. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that gotta fucking hurt. All right, let's get Bennett in here, Mr. President. How you doing tonight? First of all,
I'm doing okay.
hey,
all
Paul.
right, we're talking about plastic
That's good.
surgery tonight. When
Mhm.
is too much, and when is it appropriate to get it for maybe medical reasons or birth certificate, stuff like that? So that is where we're at right now. So, what's your opinion on it so far?
Well, I think you need to define plastic surgery. I mean, there's levels to this, right? I mean, there's I mean, in the literal, you're adding unnatural things to your body, or you are, yeah. I mean, it's like you're doing things unnatural to your body. So, um, I think there's a difference between getting breast implants versus getting liposuction.
Totally agree.
I wouldn't call liposuction plastic surgery. You know what I mean? But like someone who's lost a limb or someone who's lost some kind of, you lost an ear, they want to take a piece of your hip and put that in your ear or some kind of, thing, or some artificial implant or something like that. I think that's really where that is. So I mean, obviously people who've had injuries or birth defects or whatever, I mean, those are, I think, all certainly good. But I'm kind of platonic on it. If a woman wants to get breast implants, you know, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. And I'm not, obviously those who've had a mastectomy, I mean, you can certainly understand it there. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
of
like
course.
40 plus, you had your kids or whatever, and you got your belly's not where it needs to be, it's not tight enough, and your breasts are, kind of sagging and whatnot. And you say, you know what, I want to do something a little bit different. Then I don't mind that. Now, where it gets extreme, yeah, if you want to get 50 triple G or something like that, I mean, that's an extreme. I mean, you have some people who do that stuff purely for entertainment purposes or whatever, or just to be seen. And there's obviously, some dysmorphia going on. But some people,
Right.
just because you get implants, that don't mean you got to get the Dolly Partons. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can just get something you just want to look more natural. That's in proportion to your body. So I'm not so against that. If my wife, she's talked about that. I mean, yeah, she wouldn't mind getting a couple things sucked out here or there, you know. So I think, when you do in those lines, I don't see a lot wrong with it. Now, if you people get Botox, now again, you can go to extremes with it. When you have people with thin lips and they got these big lips like black women do, yeah, that's it's kind of it's kind of cartoonish when you do things. Or we've seen some of these ladies who get hooked on plastic surgery and whatnot. And they look at the before picture 20 years ago, and you look at them now, and they're like, like not only unrecognizable, but they're just like off. There's one lady that thinks she turned herself into a cat. She looks like a cat. This
I just showed the
woman or
picture.
whatever, and yeah, I mean that's something else going on. But it's like anything else. You can take anything and abuse it, right? So I heard a little bit of the combo as I was just getting on about, again, also there's cultural things that people do that, again, you may not understand because you're not from that culture. Like, the ring, I think Craig was talking about the African tribes where they have the loops and the rings in their ears and their lips and all that kind of stuff. But then you have other cultures like, you also have the scarring in a lot of African countries where you get little physical scarring on the face, on the cheeks, on the head, and that's considered attractive, or that's an augmentation, right?
Sorry,
So
but
now,
Mark.
so if you want to expand the conversation to augmentation, then I think a lot of people need to really question, I guess what their motives are, because if that be the case, then tattoos, you got to put those in too. If you talk about your natural body, your natural place or whatever, then tattoos, that should be you should have an issue with tattoos then, because you weren't born with those. And you decided,
honestly, David, I mean, Paul, I never thought like that.
You weren't born with those. You decided to put those on. And some people take it to the extreme, just like anything else. Some, back in my day, you would someone would get a tattoo that was meant to be concealed. Or a woman, she would get maybe a little tattoo, a little heart, below the waist or something, or in an area that wasn't easily seen. Now it's just like blah. It's like it's in your face. It's on their faces. It's on their necks. It's on their backs. The tramp stamps, when that became a thing back in the 90s, and all those things. So that's an extreme, and I think a lot of it may come from the same places.
Because I'll give you a good example. And like one of my VPs, my vice presidents, because we have two. He's literally from the neck down covered completely, and he has a big ass beard down in here. I'm like, and I looked at him like, what's the president think about it? The CEO, he goes like, they love it actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and we're a blue collar company, by the way.
Right. Well, it would make more sense in that capacity. Now, in a white collar, would that be acceptable? I don't know. I mean, but then again, you got
the funny part about that, Paul, where we're contract through the company we're contracted through, they're a white collar Jewish company, and they're like, they don't say anything.
That's within the company policy.
Which is a little bit surprised you said Jewish company, because Judaism in general are kind of anti-tattoo. So that's just.
But the law says, X, Y, and Z. You can't, they changed the law a few years back, about 15 years ago, I think it was, because I had an issue with that person. They tried to tell me, oh, you got to cover your tattoos. I had less back then. I go like, why? It's nothing. It was literally, I only had my cross at the time and my 3 letters, and they were starting to go out, and I got legal involved. I called legal. My legal department goes, they cannot tell you to do that. Nobody can tell you that.
Let me better know that, Mr. Better know that very well, because in white collar companies, some companies are multinational companies whereby they do business transactions with certain culture or country whereby certain tattoo can consider to be offensive. Now, when you're doing business with the Japanese, I explained it. No, but to better understand what I'm talking about, the company you work for, that's within their policy. There's some company they want you to cover up. They had a handbook for that, because
I worked with other national companies again, and this was my argument statement. I told them, we are where United States, that their culture is their culture, our cultures, our laws. As long as I'm on United States soil, I will follow United States laws.
There is certain.
You know what they did?
Well, hang on. First of all, I don't think there is U.S. law on tattoos. I think if anything, it's a state, and if anything, it goes to private. So again, because companies can make, like, they have policies like, okay, if you have tattoos, they must be covered. A company can certainly state that.
I know from my understanding from legal, there are laws for that too. As long as they're
I'm
not
for that.
racial
Hang on, let
slurs on
Craig,
you.
if he's got a correction, go ahead, Craig.
Yeah,
Go
what
ahead,
I'm trying to say, people who come out of prison, you've got gang tattoos, you've got offensive
Correct.
tattoos, right? They either have them changed, removed, or they have to be covered up in America. Yeah?
Yeah, that's the exception to everything.
Companies
Yes.
can't. Companies can suggest stuff in America, but they can't tell you to cover up or do anything like that because the tattoo is actually a part of your body. It's permanent. Yeah? They can't tell you to take it over. Yeah, they can't tell you to remove it or cover it over. It's your body in American law. You agree with that?
You say that correct.
Look, it depends on what you find because I'm literally googling this now, and they
I-
can, but they
I'll
can't.
read it.
Yeah, to a certain extent. To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Paul.
Let me read
I
it.
agree
I'll read
with
it
that.
right
It's
now.
an
As long
extent.
as it's not offensive, saying I'm going to kill your
That's what I said.
grandmother, yeah, or hate speech or racist or whatever, yeah, they can't do jack shit about it.
Now,
Right.
I'm glad you said that. Only what my assistant told me. He said there's no federal law that directly prohibit or regulate tattoo in the workplace. However, employer have legal right to set dress code and appearance standard, including rules about visual tattoos. I've been telling you about this. Me and Paul been have seen in white collar
Okay, I
America.
gotta come back on that one, buddy.
As
You're
long
gonna
as
look
that
at
the
they're
rules
allowed to
are applied
suggest it,
fairly
they're not
and don't
allowed
discriminate
to actually
based
physically
on
tell you to do it.
protected
hang on,
characteristics.
Greg. Let me finish.
What this means, employer can require employee to cover their tattoo, for example, in customer facing roles. Tattoo that are offensive, gang related, or contain hate symbol can legally be ground for discipline or refusal to hire. However, if a tattoo is religious or cultural, the employee may have a right to accommodation under Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act, unless covering unless covering it is necessary for legitimate business reason. Meaning,
Okay, and here's my comeback. To in '09, it was a humongous lawsuit. I can't remember what the company was. It became what was that lawsuit when multiple people get involved? Oh shit, what is it
Class
called?
action.
Classic. Thank you. They lost. They had to pay everybody out.
okay, here's the example. Let's say example, a hospital may require all visual tattoos to be covered, which is true.
I work in a hospital. I've never had to cover mine up.
Hang on.
I worked in
By
two
law,
different.
the your boss can say, "Can you cover it up, please?"
Mhm.
But you don't have to, as long as it's not racial and
They
offensive.
can ask you. Yes, they can
By
ask
law,
you.
they
But you
can.
do not have to obey that law or
No.
command. You can go to HR and have that conversation with HR, and HR will overfavor you as long as it's like not racial, gang related, and what was the criminalization. And like if I have KKK on my arm, for example, yeah, they're gonna make you cover that up. But if it's nothing that bothers or hurt anybody else, like mine, for example, mine are not racial, they're not gang related, and they're not hurting anybody. So they,
Well, that's
And-
a
I
list.
have
So
been down
you,
this road
Go
multiple
ahead,
times.
Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
There you go.
so again, so you did talk about tattoos that promote drug or alcohol use. So again, if you have a cannabis tattoo, that could be a no-no.
That's correct.
Tattoos
I
of
agree.
nudity or sexual innuendos. Again,
Correct.
weapons, political figures, profanity or controversial phrases or tattoos that bash a specific religion, race, or gender.
Correct.
So that's a lot of ground. But I'm just saying there are rules, but I don't want to take this into
There
a
are
tattoo
limits.
conversation.
There are limits. That's basically what they're saying. There
Right,
are
but
limits.
I'm
We're
not.
gonna
I'm
move on
not
from
trying
this
to.
in a
I'm
minute. I
not
wanna
trying to
have-
take this into a tattoo conversation because we can debate that all night. My
Yeah.
thing is, if the conversation is about artificial enhancements, and so we've talked about plastic surgeries or liposuction or whatever people do to look or feel better about themselves or express themselves in certain ways. If you're gonna say, "Well, I'm against this and that" or whatever, then how can you how can you be so pro tattoo? Because again, you weren't born with those, and
You're
you
right.
chose to put
Some
yourself.
people tattoo their skin, yeah,
It's
to
still an it's
if
an
they've got
it's
a
an
family
augmentation.
member who have passed, yeah, they want to tattoo their name and their date of birth, right, on their leg or their arm. That makes them feel better. That makes them feel closer to that person who is not around them no more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And so look, I'm not debating over the reason why people get them. I'm just saying it's still an augmentation. For those who are arguing natural, or your natural body, you should leave it the way it is. Don't change anything. Grow, age gracefully, and things. If you're gonna make that argument, then again, how can you allow tattoos? Because again, that's especially again, and I'm not talking about again, just like anything else. There's also levels. Someone who wants to get a nip and tuck here, or some Botox here, or something like that, something minor, is one thing. But some people take it to the max, where
Yeah, I totally agree. I
they
totally
literally
agree.
change
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
completely
body.
wrong.
But I'm saying, but the people who
having,
get tattoos from head to toe, I don't
but
see
if
it.
it makes certain things like tattoos, yeah, if people want to make themselves feel better on that, they can do that. But liposuction, breast implants, that sort of thing, that's fashion.
So
Yeah.
tattoos aren't fashion.
Whoa, time out. Paul's right. Tattoos also could be a fashion condition. I don't know.
100%.
I can't believe I'm about
yeah.
to say this. This is the one time I'm going to agree with tattoos with Paul. Don't get used to it, Paul. We always argue about
I
tattoos.
win all the time. I win all the time, buddy. So don't even go there with that.
You have not argued. Bullshit. You're in your
David?
little bubble with
David?
tattoos.
Hold on. I've got a question for Pete.
David
right?
doesn't count.
Pete, I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go for
Why
it.
did you get your tattoos? Why? And what was
My
the
first
reason?
one? My
No,
first one?
all of them. What was the reason?
Everyone has a different reason behind it. I'll tell you my first one. My first one was my grandparents. That's how I remember them. The second one was my Greek symbol. I mean, my Japanese symbol stands for love. And yes, I I made sure it was the right one before anybody crack any jokes.
No. But
So every single tattoo. Hang on. Every single tattoo on my body has a story behind it. I just don't get it. Like, you know what? Greg, Paul, David, I'm bored. Let's go get tattoos, guys. No, there is not even one tattoo on my body. It doesn't have a meaning and a story behind it. I call them my scars for a reason.
It's something that means something to you.
Yeah, of course. It has a reason. It's
no
a story behind that.
It doesn't mean fuck all to anyone else. Who gives a shit? It's what it means to you. Yeah,
and
it has a meaning, and it's close to your heart.
Yeah.
But some people go overboard with that. It's like plastic surgery. Yeah, people go overboard with that. Yeah, if people want to do liposuction to help them make them feel better, go for it. Yeah, but if you're doing it to make yourself look better, yeah, for other people's opinions, it's just wrong.
Let me speak on this. This is why I had the issue with the term liposuction. Now, being in the U.S.,
I think you've already explained all about liposuction.
I know,
David.
I understand, but there's a thin line whereby liposuction is understandable and liposuction is not understandable. For those, like I mentioned earlier, who have a eating disorder, and they eat themselves to the point of sickness, there is a limit to how much liposuction can
David,
do.
can you slide your mic quick?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. I'm saying that there could be there's a thin line behind it. Liposuction have been taken to the extreme whereby it's no longer liposuction anymore. They've done it to the point whereby you call it transformation, or what you want to transforming fat from one side of the body to another side of the body. For example, Kim K, aka the square version of Weird Science, she would take fat from one body and put it in another place just so she can enhance her body a certain way. People are doing that to the point whereby it doesn't make no logical or no sense in doing so. I understand it if you are coming from a situation whereby your weight balloon over the period because you don't know how to control your eating and you have to do a certain life to reduce the pressure on your body. Because we all know medically speaking, when you have so much weight on your body, you put a lot of pressure on your organs. Meaning some surgery may be required to alleviate the pressure so you can get back into the mean of doing it to reduce your body fat, naturally speaking. This is why I say in this nation they abuse plastic surgery to beyond the
Yeah, I totally
extreme.
agree. Look
It
at
got it
I
got
agree
to a
with that,
You think
David.
abuse
look at
here?
look at Charlie Sheen's mother on our 2.5 Men, right? How many plastic surgeries she had when she was on there on the show? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, but I'm not. I don't want to necessarily use celebrities for this conversation. You know what I mean? Because again, you're talking about less than 1% of people who use or basically their face is used for entertainment. They make money basically by their face or their body. I
yeah,
mean, that's
but
a for the
My
for the
neighbour
for
had
the average
hang
person. I mean,
on, Paul.
but
My neighbour downstairs had breast
Bennett,
implant.
I understand
Yeah.
your point,
I get
but
that. I'm saying keep the
It's just
conversation there.
wrong.
But someone
It's
like
just
an
wrong.
actor or actress on TV, they get paid thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for how they look. So if a
and I
woman
get that, but
something
Mr.
lips are
Bennett,
tucked,
yes,
you know, I'm not in that world, so I don't relate to that.
Mr. Bennett, I
Have
agree with that
any
part.
of you
Oh, Mr.
heard
Hold
of
on, hold on,
Bridget
hold on, hold
Jones's
on,
Diary?
Hang on.
hold on.
Whoa, time out, everybody. Please stop cutting each other off.
Sorry,
But you do not
I
lie
apologize.
tonight.
I apologize.
It's fine, David. So hang on. David, you go first. Greg, you're next. Okay?
I understand when Mr. Bennett said the 1%, aka the celebrity, but within the black community, it's an ongoing trend whereby it's no longer 1% anymore. There are people that because they can afford the Dr. Miami price, they're going on taking flight to aka Mexico and other regions to get cheaper version of these things, whereby they enhance their butt or whatever body part they want to enhance. And anyone who live in Atlanta, Georgia, has seen they see that it's a normal thing almost every week. You see a bunch of wheelchair being pulled out to bring these women who fly out of the country to get the illegal enhancement and they come back looking weird all of a sudden. So it's no longer the 1% anymore. It's becoming an epidemic within the black community now. The people are, I can't say dying, but the after effect of the illegal plastic surgery is destroying them inside out. They even did a reality show that having the professional plastic surgeon fixing these mess. Perfect example. Miss New York from that who love what's his name again? From the guy
Favorite
who
flight?
wear the Favor Flav, who love Favor Flav. She did a few illegal surgery outside the country, and she went to Dr. Miami to fix it, and he had to
I said that.
explain.
I don't know if you heard my earlier statement, David. I'm sorry to cut you off, by the way.
Mhm.
Is a lot of people going overseas to get surgeries. And when they come back, they have an infection, all these issues. That's extremely dangerous, in my opinion.
And
Body parts
it's no longer
missing.
1% anymore. That percent is increasing.
Hmm.
Before it was 1%, but now it's no longer 1%. It's staggering, but slowly but steady, it's getting bigger and bigger. It may end up being 10%, almost 20%. You never know because these women they cannot afford Dr. Miami, but they can afford the cheap version of Dr. Miami. And I
They
do
could
that
probably
in a
afford
lot.
it if they're cheap versions, dude. Yeah, but they don't understand the risks.
They don't
don't think
care.
of the risk. I know
They
they
don't
don't,
care.
but they could come back with less organs inside themselves from it. Yeah,
The why I
it's
say I
wrong.
don't feel the why I say I don't feel sorry for them. I never you know what I said earlier? If they do that for that, multiply by 10 or
It should
100.
be illegal. It should be illegal. You
You
know,
know what?
all countries. Yeah,
The problem
unless
is
you have a proper service, unless you have a proper reason for it, then and a decent reason for it, then no, it shouldn't be right.
this country don't have regulation against such thing. If it's any other country, they put a block to that big time because they're not having it. They're not gonna let their medical doctor fix your screw because you want to go outside and get your body done in a certain way. They won't put the pressure on our medical. Like, no, if you do that, we're not fixing it. That is the thing that's going on within this nation right now. It get a bit retarded.
Who's going to take this question?
Do you guys really care if the chick want to enhance themselves? If they want to, just no, don't call me. You're on your own. Deuces. I keep it
Me is
100.
gonna me is gonna be conditional. I in in more times than not, I'm not going to care that much. Again, but it depends on what it is. If it's a total body makeover or something like that, but again, a nip to tuck, a lift, or whatever, I'm not. That's not the ball game for me. If my wife, she was like, look, I really want to do this, and we had the funds and everything to do it or whatever, I'd more than likely I'd be supportive of it. Because again, it's my concern is the extremes of it more so than just the procedures themselves. And no, I'm not gonna, that's not gonna be that's not a deal breaker for me.
I personally,
Hold on.
my opinion on it, yeah, is if you have to have it done for medical reasons, then have it done. But if you don't need to have it done, what's the point? Yeah. My other half, she's got baby fat from when she had the kids. She's brilliant. She looks great. What's the point in having tummy tucks, all that sort of thing? It tells a story. It tells you're a parent. It tells that you're human.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point in having it all done?
I think that's up to the person. It's
Hold on.
really, I mean, because we look, we as the men in the medical, and the thing is, I haven't heard, we haven't really talked about men in plastic surgery tonight, but I'll leave that alone. But because you do have guys who get chest implants and all kinds of implants as well, so I'm not going there. But again, we can talk from the perspective as men thing, but again, they're the ones who got to live in that body every day. So at the very least, I try to at least be empathetic to how my wife or a woman in that role, how she feels about herself, because she's the one who's she's the one who looks at herself every day. You can say all that, oh, you're beautiful, you're great, and all that kind of stuff. And it's not to say that they don't need that, but how they feel about themselves matters. And, and like I said, going back to what I was saying earlier, there's all types of augmentation. Like, for example, I'm augmented to an extent, but I did it naturally. Like, I'm 100 pounds heavier than when I graduated college. 100 pounds.
Now,
and I did that through training and eating and things. I didn't have any surgeries or anything done, but I changed myself. So again, there's all kinds of, and people say, why you got to put all that muscle on? Why you got to be big? Oh, you should have been natural where you were, whatever.
But that's all natural.
But again, it's still a change though, whether it be natural or not. Because some people don't like a lot of muscle like that. It's like, oh, I liked you when you were skinny.
That's natural.
When you were this or that.
You're working out. You're not getting it surgery done.
I'm saying it's still an augmentation.
I get
augmentation, why it's about how you feel about yourself. It's about the progress. It's about the compliments you get. When I train clients, they come to me and talk about the compliments that they get and how their clothes fit and all kinds of things. It's a lot of it's the same driver. I mean, it's you want to basically feel, how good you feel about yourself. Some people want to do it the natural way. Some people want some assistance. Some people go into the knife, certain things like that. Again, I mean, to me, it's the same motivation. But like, for example, even in my working out, I was never going to take steroids. Like, I don't take steroids. I don't take growth hormone. I don't take any. I take some creatine. That's the only kind of supplement I add to my diet. But that's about it. Not everybody wants to go that route. And if you're
hang on a second. I don't know. I'm sorry to cut you off, Paul, but I don't know if you do this. But Arpain, I'm sending the link in the chat. You can join us if you like.
Let me just say this. I understand what Mr. Bennett is saying, but let me give you two examples. DT Young Fly baby mother. She was trying to do a Dr. Miami, mommy pick whatever. She lost her life for that. Kanye West mom trying to do the same exact thing. What happened to her? This is why what I say is not necessary, is not needed. Because first and foremost, when they want to do the process, it's not for a medical reason. It's for something that they couldn't fix that thought process in their head. When Mr. Better talk about the natural augmentation, when you do lifting weight, eat exercise, even on a biblical aspect, that is known in the scripture, but it's okay and it's no, but it's not.
But hang on, but even then, people take it to extremes.
This one I'm gonna give for once give Bennett credit. You know what I'm saying? People do go extreme.
That's another one. No, don't even say that. That's another one. Another one. All right.
No, he has a good point. He has a very good point. Men and women will go to the extreme. It could be plastic surgery, tattooing, piercings.
Bodybuilding. I mean,
There you go.
there's all kind. And that's another. We talk about anorexia. It's the other way in bodybuilding. It's big extra. Like you got the guy who's got the muscles on, and he still looks at himself as the 98-pound weakling that was getting sand kicked in his face on the beach.
What was it? What we were doing for a while, Paul? They were instantly injecting themselves with water in their muscles or something like that.
Insulin injections, all kinds of gels and whatnot to fill out certain biceps and parts, and it looks fake as anything on stage, and it's pretty easy to call out. But it's that same thing. It's just like anorexia. It's like how you see yourself. You don't see yourself as good enough, and some people are willing to take shortcuts to get to that particular look, regardless of the dangers that it might be inherent to. A lot of these guys are pumping stuff into them, have no idea where it's sourced from, have these so-called gurus are feeding them all this information in terms of what you need to be taking. Women, literally, you want to talk about the ultimate change. Look at some of these female bodybuilders going looking from very feminine. Their voices get super low. They got facial hair. They all kinds of stuff going on. So again, you can take this stuff to extremes in any thing you want to any direction you want to take it in.
All right, let's get Dr. Time in here. Our pain, what's going on, my man? How are you?
Hey man, what's going on, gentlemen? How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Good to
Hey,
see
look,
you.
I had your link already, Pete. I didn't know I wasn't going to come up, but I wanted to see what kind of nonsense you guys were talking about. So
Nonsense.
I got dragged in.
I'm getting kicked in the balls by the old timer here.
Man, I'm only joking, man.
All right, what do you got on it? Let me hear. I'm gonna hear your opinion.
Listen, man. You know what? I think Mr. Bennett kind of touched on it. I mean, if it's somebody in my family or my wife or daughters, that's one thing I would care about what they're trying to do, enhancements and shit like that. But all these chicks out there, all these people doing the BBLs and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't think twice about it. I don't like it. I don't care about it, but it's like I'm indifferent. If a chick wants to go down and put their life on the line for some bullshit, right? For some some random dude. I mean, I don't, I just think that I wouldn't want to waste any emotional currency on that. That's just their point. I mean, if it's not somebody in my orbit, I really don't care. I'm like, indifferent to women augmenting themselves. I mean, you should have that lifelong question. Do you like women with natural tits or fake ones? And I said, well, if I'm in a mix with the chick, I'm not thinking I'm caring. Right? I mean, if I'm in the bed with her, I'm gonna say, God, man, I'm not gonna touch those fake titties. I think I'll be on them just like if they were natural.
Has anyone I've never had that experience. Has anyone here ever experienced that or whatever?
I wouldn't touch her because she has fake tits,
or that you were with someone who had fake boobs, or
I was with somebody who had fake boobs.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Well, I don't think I was. I'm so way back in the day when I was out there. The women around, typically back in the 70s and the 80s and stuff, before I got married, they didn't have a lot. I wasn't around a lot of chicks with fake boobs.
I'm not calling no name. I
could tell you though, it wouldn't have made a difference to me. I mean, if I'm getting ready to get down, I'm gonna say, "Whoa, man, are those tits real or fake?" I'm not gonna ask that.
I'm paying for once. You're right. Like when it came down to get the crack and releasing, didn't make a difference or fake or real. I'm smashing her no matter what.
That's exactly right.
I was sorry.
And again, and back you talk about the 80s. I mean, that's when all the women were dying for that because they were using that silicone.
Yeah,
and all those women would die
it wasn't as big in the black community.
Then they went to saline. I don't know what they use now.
Yeah, they went to saline after that, but in the black community in the regular areas, man, they weren't really doing that.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely that was definitely the ones trying to get some curves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I saw one when I was working at NYPD. She looked extremely weird. It did not fit her. It was too obvious. I'm looking like, And you got a boyfriend, he was okay with that? Something wrong with his eyes. I'm not mentioning who the person is, but it didn't look natural. And I'm an African. I can tell when it's off. I'm looking at you like,
Okay, so that's not the point, Dave. Are you going to say, you know what?
I'm sorry. I like it natural. And if you look off 1 inch,
That makes two of us, David.
my radar start to tick. I'm like, you need an African drive-by. Go on sleep.
David, I'm not gonna disagree with that. Like, if I had to pick natural over plastic, yeah, I'll pick natural. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, me too.
But when it comes down to getting down and dirty, and do the nasty or whatever you want to call it, you will not care.
I extremely care. I'm sorry.
You could
Man,
your
success has to be very sad then.
Pete, you can tell the difference.
I want my woman 100% natural. All
Dave,
the way.
man, you know
No
what, man?
insulin,
You're so full of shit,
no
man.
plastic, none of that. Not even fat transfer. I'm not doing that. If I consent or see that you're not natural, I'm sorry. It's the shrinkage.
You know what,
But
man?
here's the thing, David. But
Hey,
what is
hey, Pete, you don't have that I call cap thing, man. You don't have that little.
Oh, hold on. Are you gonna start it again? Are you gonna start it
You've
again?
reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
A few years ago, everybody said, "Oh, I'm capped when I call Kim K at 0.5," and you turn to find out she's actually at 0.5. We're gonna start around 2, make me correct again. Like, I'm ready for the heat. I'm ready. I'm 1-0.
I hear you, brother.
Yeah. Here's guys, again, another area to go in. And I think you guys kind of talked about it a little bit earlier with the Michael Jackson situation, but here where I do think there is a problem. And I know it's definitely in Africa, David, so you can't run away from this one.
Where you going?
The skin lightening.
Oh, yeah.
That is a major, but it's happening everywhere. It's in India. Like skin lightening is huge in India, especially in southern India. It's huge in Africa. You got the ladies over here doing it and whatnot. To me, that's a major. That I would have some problems with.
I'm
So
not going to argue. I had that.
She get implant, she get lipo, she get all that kind of stuff. If my wife is very dark, if she said, you know what, I think I want to get some lightening done, that's when I will put my foot down. I don't care about the implants or anything else like that.
Sorry.
If she wanted to get lighter, I'd have a problem with that.
I'm glad you mentioned that one because I had that issue since I was a little kid because I found it something wrong. And my mom and dad, African Joe, they wear the white garment like a Charlie. I make fun of those people too. There were sisters who did it in the wrong way. You're light skin over here, but your palm is dark skin. You have Godfrey, the comedian, the Nigerian comedian, make fun of people like that because there's a stigma that's been passed down by the European. That the lighter you are, the better you are. So they were selling soap that lighten your pigmentation. They were selling all type of cream. And to me, I never liked it. I had to embrace my darkness. Because at one point, I had a nickname. They call me Shadow, meaning you turn off the light, you're not going to see me. At first, I took it at the diss, and I took it at the compliment because they don't want, if I'm Shadow, you're never going to see me coming. So I'm your worst nightmare.
Definitely. It's big in China too, by the way.
No, it's not only big in China, but the thing in Africa, it is put down by the European brainwash.
No, but I mean, I think it's big in China too. I think is it China too? I think they have an issue with that as well.
Yeah, but to me, that gets to, again, when we talk about beauty standards, right? No, Kevin Samuels, this is where I kind of disagree with him on a little bit, but I think you can't deny that kind of yours, and especially Latin America, please.
Oh,
that was actually policy. Like in Dominican Republic, when they talk about enhance the race,
aka Minnesota.
Yeah, beyond that, I'm saying you had actually leaders like the head of Dominican DR. He was like, look, we got to basically import some people from Spain and we got to lighten up it because before that, it was mostly slaves and indigenous people on the island. And he was like, we need to enhance the race. So he was like, let's bring all these Spaniards from Spain and let's lighten everybody up. That was policy in Dominican Republic. And I think a lot of that is still there. And again, you look at the television, especially look at Telemundo right now. and look at the stars and who's on in these productions. You don't see people like me, David, or Arpane in those areas, and certainly not at the high levels.
Mm-mm.
And in those populations, the demographically, you got more people in South America, in Brazil, in South and Central America of African origin, because most of the slaves went there, than you have to the United States. 3 million slaves went to Brazil, 300,000 went to the US. So those are black and brown populations back there, but you don't see any representation in the beauty culture as a standard. They're very underrepresented in those places. So I think a lot of that drives the conversation as far as how people look at themselves, especially women, how they look at themselves. They think, oh, I got to be lighter to be looked at as beautiful. Even in the Philippines, I had a lady tell me that also. And I kind of called her out on a little bit because she was like, oh, she was because I guess the Miss Philippines, she said, oh, she's so fair skinned, she's so beautiful. And I just asked her, so what? If she's kind of tan skinned, she's not beautiful? And I just kind of made her very uncomfortable when I asked her that. But yeah, over there, they value that very fair, fine skin over there.
Well,
Now, Paul, let me ask you a question really fast. And you two are paying because you're both on the same club. With somebody who wants to get a hair implant, how would you feel about that?
what you mean? You mean a man?
Yeah.
Yeah, hair club for men.
Go ahead,
size
go ahead,
30.
Mr. Bennett. I
Well,
think
honestly,
I don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks good. Hey, Mr. Bennett, remember that sports guy? He was really bald and he tried to toupee the black guy. I forgot his name. He was
Prime?
Look, Prime did it. Deion Sanders did it. LeBron James did it.
yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But an old sports guy. You might know him, Mr. Bennett. He's an old sports broadcaster.
He's white?
He was black. But he had a bald head. It was really shiny. And his head was kind of, egg-shaped. And he put on one of those things, man. He looked funny as hell. I forgot his name, man. I wish I could remember his name.
Yeah.
Mr. Bennett, you would know who I'm talking about if I remember.
If I saw him, I'd definitely know.
Well, it's not Stephen A.
But generally speaking, again, but that's cosmetic. Look, I've embraced, really, even though we make fun with it and everything, but I've embraced being bald. I love being bald. It's way easier. It saved me a ton of money. I was spending like $100 a month on haircuts. So, being able to, shave my own head and whatnot, it's a time saver, and I'm comfortable with it. And then all these guys like Isaac Hayes and Louis Gossett Jr. and Michael Jordan, all those bald brothers from back in the day. So I'm like, look, I'm rocking the ball.
Right. But again, shave it off like with his sword.
Yeah. Yeah,
no, but it's a certain graduation when you shave it all
I don't think it's legit. I mean, when you go from bald to like sporting, like Steve Harvey or something like that,
you look funny as hell.
That just doesn't look natural to me. So I'm not a fan of that. But again, some people can be very insecure about their hair falling out, especially if you're young. I remember guys in high school were like balding. And whatnot. So some of that stuff is just your genes, your genetics. You can't help that. But it's always been an issue for them. So, but again, it's the same thing. If that makes you feel more confident in getting that hair, you saw those hair club for men commercials and whatnot, and the guy swimming in the pool and getting out and wiping his hair back, and he's all the ladies on him and whatnot. His girlfriend loves him, his wife loves him, or whatever. If that makes you comfortable or whatever, then I say go ahead and do it. My thing was, it just looked very, back in the day, it seemed like it was very painful, when they were doing them skin grafts and whatnot to get the putting the plugs in and stuff. I mean, that's a lot of pain to go through to get beautiful. And that's my only thing with it also. I'm not willing to undergo any pain unless it's in the gym. Like I'll get pain like lifting weights and getting those last few reps in, that kind of pain, but going under the knife kind of pain. And keep in mind, you got to understand, these elective surgeries, again, if you got to go under, my daughter, she's studying that, she's looking to study that now, anesthesiology. That's some crazy stuff right there, because anesthesiology, you're not dead, but you're not alive either. It's like you in another realm somewhere, and the anesthesiologist has to know exactly how much to give you and make sure you come back in one piece. In fact, they got one of the highest health medical insurance premiums out there are anesthesiologists. Because if you don't bring somebody back, that could be curtains for you. So that's anytime you go to do something elective, just because I want to, you got to go into that knife or whatever, and they knock you out. It's a risk. Now I've known people unfortunately who died. I know a good friend of mine, his wife died getting one of them lap band surgeries or whatever, and she passed doing surgery, and it was devastating at the time.
And the point is, it's like limbo, because when you come back, the time between they put you under and you come back, that time is lost.
Yeah, and you don't even feel it.
If you never come back, you just don't come back.
Yeah, but it's not like sleep, because sleep, you kind of know you've been out for a while. It's like you don't know when you go out. Like they say, count to 10, right?
Yeah,
backwards, right? You don't know when you come out, go out, and when you wake up, it's like nothing happens. Like what, 5 minutes pass.
Exactly.
You've been out for 2 hours, so that it's a different realm there being out. So yeah, I'm not trying to go under the knife unless I absolutely have to. In fact, I was supposed to get my doctor wanted me to get a rhinoplasty a while back, because I got like a deviated septum here. But he was like, look, if you can get away with just here, I'll give you some nasal spray. But fine, give me the nasal sprays when I'll live with it. But to go under, maybe when I was like in my 20s or 30s, maybe. But now, I gotta, even though I'm relatively healthy, I gotta respect my age also. 56 is 56.
So
I gotta be
I've been under twice for surgery.
My
first one was my appendix, and my second time when I got my kidney stone. So the first one I don't remember much because I was very young. But the second one, I'm telling you, Paul's right. It's some of the weirdest feeling ever, because I remember being on that table. They put this big mask around my face. He goes, "Oh, start counting." And he goes to me like, "What do you mean by counting?" He goes, "Count from 1 to 10." He goes, well, I got 1. I barely hit 2. I was out. I remember waking up. Literally, they woke me up, and I was in a recovery room. I'm like, where I literally, and they knew me because it was the hospital I worked at. They tied my ass down because they knew I would freak out. So I freaked out literally. I was like, what? When I jumped, I literally was like, they had me like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? I'm like, and I knew the nurse there goes, Pete, relax, dude. I'm like, it's Jeff. I'm like, Jeff, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you're coming anesthesia, give it a minute, you'll get your senses back. So it takes a good 20 to 30 minutes for me to realize, oh, I'm okay. It was weird. Does that make sense, Errol?
Yeah. No, it's a different, and they say they understand how the drugs work, like what they do. They don't understand that dream state you're in. They just know it works. It's like gravity. Like, how gravity works, and you can use it to go to the moon and whatnot, but we still don't understand what gravity is. You know what I mean? It's a weird kind of it's
like I said originally, my take on it, if it's for medical, I have no problem with it. If you just want to get kicks and giggles or for the hell of it, and then it goes from 1 to 2 to 3, then 10 to 20, I think that's the issue with it. When
what do you think about piercings?
Okay, like I said earlier, it depends. A few piercings, I don't have a problem. If you have a couple of ears, the nose, tongue, maybe that's it. But when you have it like piercings everywhere, like gauges everywhere, all over your lips, the big nose ring hoops,
the septum
ring,
is an absolute no.
Yeah, it's
an absolute no.
It's a turn off for me.
Yeah,
it's just wrong.
There's a theory about that. I believe it, man. I tell you, man, that those the septum ring is really bad. I don't think there's any way you could make a nice one. As soon as you look at a woman with a septum ring, you have a image of what she thinks, and a guy, what he thinks. I mean, this person is.
I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I dated a girl who had one, and her employer, she worked for Starbucks, had an issue. They told her, you have to at least tuck it in. And she didn't like that. But, she goes, listen, it's for a job, temporary. It's only a college job. I don't care. I'll tuck it in. Now in her professional career, she had to take it out. It didn't look professional. They didn't tell her to take it out. She took it herself because she realized it did not look professional.
Here's my thing. There's a lot of women that are taking piercing a little bit too far. It's not just the ear or the nose or the lip. They're going to the point whereby it's the nipple and it's down there. And I'm gonna be like, hold on, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Go, Dave.
That's enough.
I'm good. No. You can take cap all you want. I ain't you, Arpin. I ain't
I
ink today.
didn't say anything, brother. I just said I didn't say anything.
No,
I
this
You
is
don't
think
my
know
about
if
it way too easy sometimes, David.
this is my preference because the thing that comes to my mind, I'm a black male. If I see stuff, I had too many thoughts. What if something go wrong here? Who will be responsible for this? Why they gotta be on my plate? I don't need that. That's why I say it's a turn off because some guy they're okay with a woman having dead and that's just them. Me, in my mind, in my head, don't give me ready to start calculating. I'm like, well, when can I dump this girl? Because I don't want to wait until something goes wrong. They want me to be there because you messed up because you did something. No, I don't need all that. The belly piercing, I'm not a fan of that one either, to be honest with you. I
So,
want to
Dave,
ask
can I ask
question
you a
why.
question, Dave? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So you turned down a chick and she had a couple of nipple piercings, you know?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Seriously, yes, man.
No, you don't understand. The way my brain works, it don't make me sleep. When I was younger, I would think with the turn on until I started to hear about some of the mishap that happened. And that was like, no, I'm good. So my mind, when I see a woman does that, first thing comes to my mind is it would be
well, we
bad
ain't
when
talking
something
about
goes wrong.
marrying them. You know, we just talk. You know, I mean, listen, man.
Now I know why David hasn't got laid in 6 years. You set yourself up, my man. You set yourself up.
Don't worry. When I go back to the motherland, I'll get laid plenty more. I don't have to worry about all those hooga, all that nonsense going on.
You got a bigger hooga. You got a big ring, big hoops in
No,
her
no, no.
mouth.
That's the southern. I'm from West Africa. That's the difference. That's the southern African part. Don't mix me with that one, all right?
Oh my God! Well,
Yeah, I
hey,
went without it for 6 years and what?
you
See, I
got
don't have to worry about.
standards, Dave. We
I
understand.
want
You
to worry
got
about
standards.
HIV and AIDS, unlike what's going on in New York City, Georgia, and Texas. Hello,
Hmm.
safe than sorry. Hello, am I wrong, RP?
Well, you know, I'm out of the game, man. So
You
I don't know.
married.
I don't
You
know what you're
good.
talking about.
You married. You don't have to worry about that. You later give you the signal. You say, "Hey, guy, I gotta go. It's that time of the month," and you disappear.
Oh man, sweet. Yeah, well.
But hey, it's what it is. I'm not worried about it. But my thing is, the piercing part, I had to give Mr. Bennett. It makes sense when you put that category and tattoo in the same category of plastic surgery because they're both not natural, which is totally correct. And there's some aspect where people do it culturally speaking. I'm not gonna lie. The travel mark thing was part of my culture at the Yoruba tribe.
Mhm.
I was glad that I dodged it because almost every young kid of my era was meant to take that. Either you get the one on your face, the one here, or the one on your arm. I didn't want neither one of them because
Yeah.
the method behind it, it wasn't no syringe. It was a knife in a hot fire coal when that thing turned nicely red and they mark you with it. I don't need that.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Some
But
cultures
I did
brand.
want. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Some
Go ahead,
cultures
Mr.
do
Midland.
brand each other. He's like he's like becoming a man kind of thing. But Paul, go ahead. You were going to say something? Sorry.
Nah, I just wanted to touch base again on the cultural aspect because again we talk about tattoos. I mean, look at like Samoans or Polynesian culture, right? Very big on tattoos. I mean, that's just part of the Maori in New Zealand and things of that nature. So I mean, so I guess this idea of beauty, I think it is in the eyes of the beholder. You know what I mean? I mean, we may not understand it to an extent. We weren't kind of raised with that. But if that's in your that's part of your heritage. I mean, it's hard to judge that.
The Samoan culture, I don't judge it either. I'm sorry, I cannot judge because that is deep. There's a meaning behind it,
Yeah,
but
you want
it's
to
a
talk about
deep thing.
meanings? Yeah, I mean, you putting your whole family history basically on your arm there. I mean, or down your body, or however you want to get covered up and everything. So that's another area altogether. But but for some people, but I think it's still motivated by the same reasons. I think it's to stand out, it's to tell the story, it's to represent certain aspects of your culture and whatnot. So
Or it's like a path into I don't know, it's either a path to mental or something not much more bigger than because it seems there's multiple levels to it when they put more tattoo because it's a cultural aspect of it, but it either there's a ranking system that depends on how much you're allowed to have or whatever it may be. But when it's Samoan culture, I try to study as much as I can, but I realize it is much deeper rooted history that you got to go back many years and see why they have that embedded. Same to in my code, I had to go back many years and ask why they tribe because they're different Yoruba tribes. Some tribes are based on last names, and some are based on certain region. So if you understand about the bigger Yoruba kingdom, the kingdom of Benin, that was a massive Yoruba kingdom. So if you don't know anything about African culture and African history, you got to look it up. Now I understand why they had to mark people to make sure they let them know they belong to a particular tribe. Me, I didn't want it because I wasn't fully educated enough in that culture aspect. If I was, and I understand the roots history behind it, I may have to have a different thought of mind process because I would have said, you know what? Yeah, this is my heritage. I need to embrace my heritage. So I will take that mark knowing that I'm part of this particular clan. No different from the Japanese clan. Japanese clan have a uniqueness of either marking, tattoo, or something else to recognize who is part of that particular clan. That's no different from the Chinese either. But this is a topic that on both sides, it's not an easy walk in the park. Let's keep it simple. When you meet the better make the Samoan culture with their tattoo, I cannot call that tattoo anymore. That is more tribal. It come with a long, deep history to the reason why they have that. So you can't call it tattoo. You can't call it it's something
Hold on.
attached to the culture. Go ahead.
Hold on. In some cultures, I think it's in Africa,
hmm
if you have a tattoo, you're a gang. You're in a gang over there, aren't you?
I'll be frank with you. It
You'll
has
be
nothing to do with
classed as being in a gang in some cultures.
Japan, I know, is like that.
no, maybe in Japan, yes,
No,
but
no.
in
I remember watching an episode of World's Strictest Parents where they go from say like a different country, from say like the UK to another country to be strict by a different culture. Yeah, and there's a kid with full loads of flaming tattoos, right? And it's classed as being in part of a gang,
I get your point. I see
or
what you're coming from.
piercings, or whatever it is. Yeah,
You're correct on that part. If you're getting a tattoo or a piercing based on a faction, you could be a gang. But if you get a tribal mark, even though it's still under the
it's completely
category,
different. I understand.
yeah, that's where like I said, there's a thin line and very confused because I mentioned the mark. The better know it when I'm talking about them because you see some African people, they got
Mm.
straight lines on their face. Some have one, and I see a uncle of mine. He had deep one. It was very long, going down and going this further. Not for a particular tribe. Some have it on their forehead. Some have it here. It depends where it has to go. I didn't want it because I was not fully educated enough to understand that root history
Maui
behind it.
from Moana. Yeah,
Okay.
he had them from different things. Everything that he's achieved
hmm
because of the culture. Hawaii, whatever it is, something like that. It's their part of their do you know the cartoon Maui, Moana?
That's near Hawaii, right? Or there's another coast
It's,
of
a,
No,
it's
island.
it's an anime movie, David.
Oh, Hawaii.
The Rock
Okay.
was in it. The Rock's
I'm,
got
I'm,
the Rock's in it. Yeah. He
Oh
plays
yeah,
Maui.
Moana. Yeah, yeah.
They have tattoos for their culture.
mhm.
Yeah, and for like different types of demons and things that they've achieved. They get the tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with Alien versus Predator towards the end, where she kills the queen, and it wasn't the queen. One
Yeah,
of the
they
aliens,
marked
and they brand a mark, a scar her,
Mhm.
say that she's killed that
What do they call them? The Yautja, something like that.
But it's not similar to Native American marketing because they say something about. I remember in elementary school how they say some Indian American Native tribe they had a unique way of marketing on a particular warrior based on how many achievements. I don't know if that's true or not, but like I said, I need to see proof of that particular aspect of it. What you say it may come kind of sense, but it's based on either the culture or something they're trying to
Well,
copy
yeah, it could be
from.
all of those things, Dave. But in America, though, a person who's overly tattooed, that also is saying something, right? I mean, like even though we don't, because our culture is usually, when I say our, I mean American culture. It's like I don't know if tattoos send a different kind of message. They could be negative. You see a dude, the bikers all tatted up.
Mhm.
When you see a woman all tatted up, I don't think there's any real. I don't think women are pretty with tattoos all over places that you can see. You can't take them anywhere. I don't care how they look and how they, especially some of the body art on like white women where you can see the colors and stuff. Yeah, but you can't really take it to the corporate dinner. Neck tattoo, the chest shit, man, the tramp stamp, and or on their legs, a place you can't, you know. But when you see a woman with all tatted up, you think something about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. I don't care what they say about it. You just think something about that person.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's
And it's easy.
the
It's
ongoing
it's a lot
debate.
easier to get those than again, like we talked about the plastic surgeries and whatnot. I mean, tattoos. I don't know what that.
Yeah, but you can
Pete, how
class it
much they?
plastic surgery to have them removed.
Okay, so tattoos can vary from $75 all the way to a couple thousand. It really depends.
Yeah, depending.
So, from what our pain really fast, and we're getting into our final thoughts after that, is he's right and wrong at the same time. Now, if she's chest tattooed, neck tattooed, yes, I get it. She's not gonna be able to go to a corporate dinner. I will, once
But you
agree
can
on that.
go, but you stand
But
out.
if she has like a half a sleeve, for example, even a full sleeve. I'm a big believer of tattoos. If your body complements the tattoo, I don't have issues. But when girls get tattooed that doesn't complement their bodies, is if it looks out of place. I'm like, really?
Well, okay, let's examine that, Pete. Though, even if it's a half a sleeve and it fits the woman perfectly, it still says something. I think it's if you can't hide it, I think it says something about it. I mean, because it depends on the setting you are. I mean, I'm not a snob. If I'm hanging out with the fellas and the guys, I don't care if my honey has a tattoo. But if I'm a corporate guy or something like that, I'm gonna think a little bit about. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't fall in love or marry somebody with a tattoo, but I don't know if I'd put that person in that bucket. She'd have to be extremely outstanding.
Mhm.
I know a bunch of corporate people women
Oh
who have
yeah,
sleeve
okay.
tattoos, and
I'm
they're
sure they
the sweetest
do.
people, and they're great business people.
Well,
That's
that
the
has nothing to do with your
again. Please
business acumen.
don't take this as disrespect. What I'm about to say
Yeah,
is that's the old school way of thinking
yeah.
versus the new way.
Okay, I can dig it.
Yeah.
You know what? You might be right.
Here,
Yeah.
here's an example for you. Have any of you seen a movie called She's Out of My League? She's Out of Your League.
No.
I heard of that. I think I saw it.
2010 movie, right?
Yeah.
Really gorgeous blonde woman. Yeah? Absolutely gorgeous. And two guys, one guy that she actually started dating, it's actually the guy from Knocked Up the movie. The skinny runt who decided to do things, whatever. Anyway. And they judged her on one particular thing because she had webbed feet. Yeah, they judged her on that. But she was absolutely stunning. Great heart, great person. But they judged her on one particular thing because she had web toes. Yeah? Why?
That's pretty big thing, man. You're doing web with the toes connected like a web, like a mermaid.
Yeah.
Shit. Some guys are feet guys.
Ew.
But why judge a person?
Well, judge. I mean, you judge them. You just judge them in terms of what you might your preference.
Mhm.
Everybody judges some people based on their preference. It's not really right or wrong. I
No.
like Pete just said, if he had a chick with a sleeve tattoo and all that, he don't care. And he said it right because I'm from the old school thinking. I'm sure it's more acceptable now than before.
No question.
It has nothing to do with the person's acumen, whether they're smart or savvy. I'm just talking about there's something there, for some of us. I mean, if a woman had a tattoo, but I could hide it, I probably wouldn't say anything.
Me, I just keep it very simple. It's either I'm either going to be attracted, it's going to stimulate something in me, or it's going to turn me off. And so again, tattoos generally, again, if you got, like I said, a little small one here or there, no problem. But again, the excess, the sleeves, the on the back, on the legs,
Or the neck, the
on the
face.
neck, yeah,
Ooh.
that's not a
I
turn.
will for once. Again, I'm going to
Say that again.
Another one like DJ Khaled.
You've
Another
reached your
one.
limit on
Bring it right.
talking. Shut the fuck
What did you
up.
say? My other half.
when
she
it
would-
comes down to neck and fast tattoos, I'm not a little small behind the ear. I don't care, but those big ones, yeah, they're even. And I don't care how good a corporate person you are. That is gonna be a red flag for anybody. But let's start getting our final thoughts. Greg, you went first. David, Paul, and our pain.
Ancient of day.
Well, my thoughts are plastic surgery should just be left for emergency and medical things on it. Simple. Sorry, that's my final thoughts on that. Sorry.
Man, this is one of the most interesting conversations ever. I had to give it to Mr. Paul Bennett. He threw an angle that, I didn't even think about it. And I'm like, you know what? You do have an excellent point. Because if we are going to argue about the pros and cons of plastic surgery, tattoo and piercing had to fall in that same conversation as well. And that is where it opened a huge Pandora box. What is considered to be acceptable, what is not considered to be acceptable. And some of us are stuck with we consider to be the old school way of thinking, while some are having the modern way of thinking. I'm used to the old school way of thinking based on presentation because when you're dealing with a multinational company, you're dealing with people from outside the American norm. You're dealing with you're making deals, so you sign up or you want to complete that so you can expand your business. Sometimes you want to be a little bit careful about what you display on your body. And this is a very unique conversation because when you start to dig a little bit deep in many different angles, you start to realize it's not so straightforward anymore. So there you have to start thinking about what is the balance behind that, what should be allowed, what not to be allowed. The Bennett say working out is considered to be augmentation, yet in a natural aspect of things, because the opposite of bodybuilding is anorexia, which is I didn't think about that too, and I'm like, I had to give it to Paul Bennett again. It opened a discussion to look at the boundaries in these things. And I believe this will be an ongoing conversation, either we like it or we don't, because this is not a one-off conversation. I love this, but I'm thinking it's like getting some people in the medical field who can come in and help us explain the pros and cons on the aspect of what it does to the human body. If it's something that you should overlook or something to close to pay attention to, because either way, it'll be plastic surgery, or you're doing tattooing, or you're doing piercing. Neither of those things are natural. You're doing something to your body that may not be appropriate, but you have to learn the side effect behind it, what the long term cost that may be. None of that. Let's do a round two on this thing when we get a chance to, because this is a very interesting conversation. That's my final thought.
No question. There's levels to everything. I've always tried to live a life of balance and try to understand where there's going to be things you can accept and things that go to extremes. But I think anything where you're talking about doing drastic changes to your body, that's going to come with risks. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to ask yourself, was it worth it at the end of the day? So again, I can certainly empathize with a woman, especially if you drop 3 or 4 babies, and you know what, and it doesn't matter. You work out, you do all the stuff, but you got loose skin, you got or things are just not gravity's taking over, and you want to do some things to make you feel better about yourself. I got no issue with that. Now again, if you want to be the one who wants to just grow old and age gracefully, that's fine too. But if you have the means and wherewithal or whatnot to do things safely, I think that's I think in certain instances, plastic surgery for cosmetic reasons or aesthetic reasons, I think can be acceptable. But for those who are arguing for, just keep what nature gave you, then again, that opens up the whole can of worms to what David was talking about: tattoos, piercings, skin lightening treatments, all those things that people employ. Now you might be getting into deeper water and talk about, again, what do you think of yourself when you look in the mirror? Or even, like I said, for guys who work out like I did. Like I said, I was 147 pounds when I graduated college. I just weighed myself this morning. I'm 240. But that came out of an urge or a yearning to be bigger. I mean, I could barely find clothes when I came out of college to fit. I tried to find a 38 long suit. You know how hard that is to find a 38 long to wear. Um, and so I wanted clothes to fit better. But then my goals changed. Then it became about, again, being stronger, fitter. Like, it's like you reach a goal, but that goal is short lived. That victory is short lived. So my thing when I first started working out, I said, you know what, I want to get to 170 pounds. That was a goal. And then when I got there, I wasn't like, well, why stop here? Let's see how far I can safely push it. And then the goal became 185 and then 200 and et cetera, et cetera. And I've just been on this whole time. So, staying strong, staying fit, and the body's just kind of growing with it. But like I said, no drugs. But again, some people take those routes. I'm not on any TRT, even at my age. I'm not on any hormone replacement at this point. Um, and you just try to, you just try to always be looking to improve. But I would never go to an extent of, again, putting myself at harm's risk. And so, those are things that everybody has to balance. Always understand what your intentions are, why you do what you want to do, and is what you plan to do, is that really going to give you happiness at the end of the day? Or it's just going to be, okay, I did this, now I got to do this. And that's where I think you really have to take a look inside and see, what's, are you trying to get happiness from the outside? But happiness is an inside job, and you have to appreciate who you are every day, and work with what you got. Because at the end of the day, I mean, that's where that peace of mind is really where it is. But anybody who tries to find happiness in external sources, more times than not, are going to find themselves lacking. So, things to consider. But again, ladies, who want to get, something done here or there, whatever, yeah, I'm generally good with it. That's all I got.
All right. Hey man, I'm gonna be short, man. Pete, thanks for letting me up, man. I get your links, so every so often it's just timing. Anyway, man, like I said when I first got up here, in terms of women trying to augment themselves, unless that woman is in my orbit, I really don't care. People are gonna do what they think they need to do for themselves. So I don't have any problem with it. Tattoos, I'm a little bit more judgmental. Uh, but again, I agree with you, Pete. It was an old school thing. I know it's more acceptable now. You know, just for fun, I wouldn't be turning a woman away if she had tattoos, but I'd be thinking a little bit different if we were going to get like married or something like that. Depending on where those tattoos were. The other thing is I put something in the back, your private chat, because I've been checking out a lot of these ladies with the septum rings, and they all pretty much have the same kind of flavor. A lot of them are liberals, a lot of them are anti-men. And so I made and you guys know I do some AI songs. I did a song about the septum ring, and it actually is, I think it's pretty good, right? It kind of talks about how these people think. And the computer did that. I didn't. I just put the title in there and a couple of words. So you got it in the back chat just shits and giggles. Some of the Septum Ring people responded to me when I sent it to them. They weren't mad at it. Other than that, I think I'm gonna go to the movies finally to see Predator Badlands. I usually just wait for shit to come to streaming, but too many people are talking about that. It's a decent flick. So I think I'm gonna go see it and probably write a review on Facebook. Other than that, gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Thanks, Pete.
And again, R-Pain, I haven't seen him, and usually I always have a conflict on Monday, so I barely get a chance to check out the show. But it's always good to see you, brother. And we need to get together again soon. We need to break bread again.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, R-Pain, honestly, truthfully, I'm gonna head down in Jersey one day when all of us get together. But seriously, you're always gonna have a seat at this table. Don't be scared to come up. Don't think, this is out of my ammo. Don't ever think that. I don't care if it's a hangout or whatever show. If the link is in it, I send you the link or it's in the chat. You better get your ass up here and join us. All right?
It's just timing issues, man. Just time.
Only even a good topic to get on.
But shut up, you. There's going to be one top show I want you on. It's because as this show is going on, David's right. We need to do a part 2 almost. But I want to do the. I'm not sure how I'm going to title it, but let's all of us have a conversation on tattoos. And I want to try to get a tattoo artist on here too to give us his opinion. And I know a few myself. So let me work on that, and it'll be like in 2 or 3 months. So I'll let you know. I'll email you because we have good communication, me and you overall.
And make sure you get a medical professional who understand the after effect when people want to get these surgery to remove the tattooing and act them their opinion. We need to have that on this. You can get TJ.
Good luck with that one. Now you're asking me to move plantains. Now it's being planted.
Take consultant fees and stuff. Yeah, that's funny.
TJ, we need you up here with your medical expertise. Come on.
But anyway, guys, let's do a quick schedule update. Let me get it up because I didn't have it up yet. And let's get the heck out of here after that. So, where is it?
It was a good show. It got me thinking a lot more now. I got to do my homework now.
Don't hurt yourself, please.
No, I'm not going to help you. I'm a nerd.
So tomorrow night with Sean's show, what are we doing? Do we look for intentions or adaptation? Adaptation. Join us tomorrow at 9:30. The coach and Paul will be talking about youth to high school, and of course we're talking about sports. Then on Friday, who is the Empire of Anime? The
Empire of Anime, because that's like I said, it's gonna be a debate because when we did the show about the 3 King of East era, we had to break it down in detail behind it, because if we think about it, Japan Adventure is like the rival to Disney in a high sense behind, if you understand the history behind it. But
yeah,
you're going deep on that.
So Saturday, I'm actually very looking for the Saturday because this is a conversation I had for a while, and you're gonna kick out of this, Paul. What if Yoda for Anakin at Mustafar? I'm gonna reach out to Mandrill. I'm also gonna reach out to our last guest,
Jay Takachi.
No, Doug Bennett, because he's a big Star Wars fan. The comedian he was on Gray Area over the weekend. And see if he wants to join that conversation.
Man, you better come out from the woodwork, okay? You need your brain on this one.
And we are having a call-in show this Friday. I mean, it's Saturday.
Call in, Gray Area show, call-in show. So folks certainly join the conversation. Then we'll be on.
Yeah. All you guys are like talking shit on the keyboard. Here's your time. Bring it. Me and Paul have it. Don't worry. And we're coming back to Monday. We're gonna be up. Tuesday we'll be back. The next week's topic for Tuesday will be not good enough. Breaking that cycle. Yep, you heard me, Dave. We all admit sometimes feel we're not good enough. Let's break the cycle.
That's not
go ahead, Greg.
That's not a simple subject to touch.
I have that same opinion.
All your thoughts, we're going to talk about them. Except that, guys, as always, I am the Spartan. He is my UK brother. He is Baby Groot.
Bear
the president, the old-time fart is in the house.
Ancient of Day. This is Moses right here.
Leave your man alone before he breaks a freaking walking cane over your head.
I'm 40. He's 20 past me already. So that's
listen, respect the elders because he can kick your ass.
I'm not going to respect my elders. He's like an extra old.
As always.
About you. Yeah.
As always. Stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Later.